Hello and welcome back to the channel, and I just watched Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Here we are, the third installment of this odd franchise. The only reason why I say it's an odd franchise is for the mere fact that it even exists. I mean, let's go back to that first trailer that came out for the first movie with that god-awful Sonic design. I cannot believe that we started there, and now we are at this point where it's just fucking unbelievable in every single way. Like, I'm still trying to wrap my head around this because it's just crazy to me. This time around, Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles have to fight not only Dr. Eggman, but his grandfather, Gerald Robotnik, and a new foe of the name Shadow the Hedgehog. You guys have no idea how much I've been waiting for this movie. Ever since that first trailer came out, I was like, they clearly know what they're doing. Like, this is insane what they're doing here. And then I watched that second trailer and it's like, okay, like, it's over. This shit is going to be peak, but you guys know me. Anytime, even if I'm excited for a movie, I always try to go with neutral expectations. And after watching the movie for myself, how do I say this? This was really disappointing, y'all. Nah, I'm just fucking with y'all. This shit was amazing. Oh my fucking god. I can confidently say that this is not only the best one out of the trilogy. In my personal opinion, I think it is one of the best video game movie adaptations. I'm not kidding with y'all. This is only me. Everybody's gonna have a different opinion about this. I'm just gonna go the extra mile and say that this shit delivered. Not only did it deliver, but it delivered and gave me even more than I expected. And I'll be honest, I was expecting to enjoy the movie moderately by the end, but I was not expecting to come out of it absolutely loving it. Everything from the first two Sonic movies is here, but improved times 100. Now, there is a small complaint that I do have with the movie, but I'll get to that later. First of all, for the people that were worried that this movie was not gonna be as funny as the other two movies, I want to reassure you guys that this movie is incredibly hilarious. In fact, I might even say that it's the funniest out of the three. Now again, comedy is gonna be subjective, okay? Not everybody's gonna laugh at everything in this movie. But to me personally, I was having a blast with the humor in this one. Especially with the Jim Carrey stuff. I know that I've heard from some people that they're kind of getting tired of the Jim Carrey shtick in these movies, at least in this third one. I still really love it. I still thought it was great. The dynamic between Eggman and his grandfather, Gerald Robotnik, I thought was legitimately hilarious. But not only that, technically, it's an impressive effect to have these two interacting with each other. I never understood how they do this effect, but I absolutely love it. You do believe that these are two completely different characters. It doesn't feel like Jim Carrey is just playing Jim Carrey in another costume. No, you actually see a clear difference between Eggman and Gerald, and that's something that I was not expecting, and I feel like their bond does make up for some really cool character interactions. I especially like what they do with Agent Stone in this movie this time around. You do feel how the relationship between Eggman and Gerald is kind of getting between the relationship between Eggman and Agent Stone, and it's legitimately sad to look at, like, oh, poor baby. So if you were worried that Jim Carrey was not gonna work in this movie, believe me, he absolutely works, and honestly, he over-delivers on his performance. Now, the real question here is, how are our main characters? So here's another thing that I'm really happy to reassure you guys that these characters are amazing. Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, they are incredible. And I love that they do give time for each and every one of these characters to shine. It's not like in Sonic 2 where most of the focus is definitely more on Sonic and Knuckles. Where Tails, yeah, he has stuff to do, but he doesn't feel like he's doing much in the movie. And let's not even talk about the Knuckles show. He barely gets a line or two in that show. You know, I don't even want to acknowledge that show, okay? Because if I do, I'm just gonna get mad at it. It just felt really good to see these characters again, interacting with each other and seeing their dynamic grow. And here, not only Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles are heroes, but you see them as brothers, because that's something that you kind of saw in Sonic 2. Sonic is more of a son to Tom and Maddie, you know, James Marsden and Tika Sumter. I absolutely love the dynamic with all these characters together. The action sequences between the three is incredible. There's a really cool sequence at the beginning of the film with the three of them that I absolutely love. It's one of my favorite parts of the movie. It just shows the incredible bond between the three. I just love it so much. Talking a little bit about some of the human characters, at least aside from Eggman and Gerald, here the human characters don't have that much attention to them, which honestly is a good thing. Look, I don't have a problem with human characters being in these movies, but people want to see the actual main characters, okay? People want to see Sonic, they want to see Knuckles, they want want to see Tails, they want to see Shadow, they want to see the funny CG characters. They don't really care about the human characters, okay? But what I really love about the human characters here is that they are actually integrated into the movie's plot. Unlike in Sonic 2, where there are completely two different plots going on, where it's the Sonic plot, which is the one that people actually care about and want to watch, and then there's the human plot. It's the whole wedding stuff with Rachel and all that stuff that it's a little bit divisive. Some people love it, some people hate it. Here, the human characters are part of the main plot. And again, they don't have a lot of screen time, but when they are present, I don't mind it. They're actually pretty fun and actually enjoyable. And we actually kind of get to have an emotional attachment to characters like Tom and Maddie, because by this point, you buy them as a family to these CG characters. But of course, you guys want to know about Shadow the Hedgehog. And believe me, this was the part of the movie before the trailers that, yes, it looked cool, but I was worried how they were going to handle Shadow. If you fuck this up, people are going to go after Paramount. So I'm happy to report that they do Shadow justice. Not only was he a really cool character to watch on screen, but I was emotionally invested in his story and his background. So that was something that I was not prepared. I'm not gonna lie, I got a little bit teary-eyed. Now, I wasn't crying or anything, but a little something here did come out, and I was like, what the fuck? I'm doing this on a Sonic movie? What fucking timeline are we living in? The other part that people are gonna be questioning here is the music. This part of the movie was one that absolutely shocked me, because the music in the other two Sonic movies is completely unremarkable. Like, it's nothing. It's incredibly boring, because it's just a couple of pop culture songs here and there that sometimes work and sometimes they don't. But specifically, I'm talking about the score. The score in those two movies is absolutely boring. It's uninteresting because they don't use none of the music from the game. They have a few leitmotifs here and there from a few songs from the game, but it's like so unnoticeable that you don't even fucking care. It's like whatever. But this film actually tries to incorporate more music from the game, and I actually appreciate that a lot. But boy, let's talk about those action sequences, because oh my god, I just loved every single one of these action sequences, because they are all so well choreographed, so well animated. The first encounter between Sonic Team and Shadow is incredible. And it's not only that, it's a fight sequence combined with a chase sequence, and it's all incredible. I absolutely loved it. But those last 30 minutes, shit is unbelievable, because it feels like you're watching a literal live-action Dragon Ball fight scene. And I'm saying that as a compliment. Choreography, the impact of the punches, hear me out, y'all. They play a certain song by this point that I was like, are you going to do what I think you're going to do? When they play that song, I wanted to scream from the top of my lungs. I didn't do it, but from the inside, I was like, fuck yeah! Again, there is one small complaint that I have with it, but it's really small, and it's related to one character. Kristen Ritter's character does absolutely nothing here. And what's surprising is that I thought they were going to do some sort of twist with this character, where they're gonna reveal that it was another character. There's gonna be a real surprise that fans are gonna appreciate. They do nothing with this character. Like, Kristen Ritter is here for absolutely no reason. She appears for a second, like in the first act, and then she disappears for the entirety of the movie and comes back around at the end. It's like, what? I even forgot you were even here. Like, what the fuck was the point of this character? But aside from that, I absolutely love the ever-living shit out of this movie. If you haven't watched it, what are you doing? Go watch this. Don't waste your fucking time with Mufasa. For the love of God, do not do that to me. Even if you're not a fan of Sonic or just a fan of the video game, if you're just a parent that wants to take your kids to watch a movie, this is the perfect movie to take them to. It's funny, it's charming, it has a lot of heart, it's emotional, and I feel like it has something for everybody. Kids are going to enjoy it, but I think there's also plenty of humor that will cater to adults or, you know, casual audiences. But at the same time, this movie does pay tribute to the fans. It really respects fans, and it gives fans what they want. There's so many references and Easter eggs that people are gonna, and there's so many Easter eggs and references that fans are gonna appreciate. It's just an incredible package of a film. So for my final rating for Sonic the Hedgehog 3, I was really curious on where this was gonna end, because I gave the first Sonic movie a 7 out of 10, like a very solid 7 out of 10. Then Sonic movie 2, I gave an 8 out of 10. So I'm very pleasantly happy to say that Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is a 9 out of 10. I absolutely love this film. I had a total blast with it. I cannot wait to see this again, but most importantly, I can't wait for what they have for the next installment. They already confirmed that they are working on Sonic Movie 4, so that's cool. This movie has 2 end credit scenes. The second one, by the end of all the credits, is one that you expected. The one that really shocked was that mid-credit scene. That shit was insane. This movie is incredible. But what did you think of Sonic the Hedgehog 3? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Or are you just kind of in the middle? Let me know down in the comments. I really want to know what you guys think about it. And like always, good night and stay safe.